Now this world shall know pain.
Naruto, hurry! Naruto!
Naruto Storm 2, a game that is 10 years old and is a stable monument for the entire Storm series that follows it. This game was the start of something great, being the first game entering the Shippuden era. And I'm going to take you guys through why I believe Naruto Storm 2 is way better than you remember it. We're going to go through the story, the music, the fights and animation, and the combat system and see what worked and what really didn't, because Storm 2 is by no means a perfect game. So sit back and relax and join me through the adventure that is Ultimate Ninja Storm 2 as we go back 10 years and reminisce about the good times of 2010. Now, the first thing I want to get into this video is the soundtrack of this game. The Storm series has some of the best instrumental melodies and themes of all time. Each piece is so well tailored to each scene and fight that it just makes the entire game flow nicely and adds impact to each fight. Through this video, when I talk about my other points such as the story or the combat system, I'll be adding pieces about the music and the specific pieces that really add impact to the story that is Storm 2. Now, the first topic I want to cover is the combat system of this game. I just wanted to make it clear that everything you see is in super hard difficulty so you guys don't think I'm some kind of pussy. But now we're going to get into the game and I'm going to explain to you the goods and bads of the Naruto Storm 2 combat system. Now, if I'm being honest, I personally believe that the combat is one of the areas that definitely holds Storm 2 back. The combat was janky and finicky and sometimes just didn't work at all. It was hard to get a flow of actual combos going, the maneuverability was chunky at times, and this is all in the single player experience. If you were one of the unlucky souls who tried to play this online, I can only imagine the suffering you must put yourself through. The online combat was some of the most cancerous, toxic place I think I've ever been a part of, and that's following just behind a Modern Warfare 2 lobby at the time. But it ain't all bad though. The combat when you're playing bosses is totally different. The game actually runs smooth, and depending on the fight, you got really cool set pieces and transformations to control, like Gaara versus Deidara, Sasuke versus Itachi Susanoo, and dare I say the Nine Tails versus Pain. Hey yo, for real though, who taught my boy Pain how to weave? He was absolutely weaving me for like 4 minutes. Right, jokes aside, the base combat wasn't the best, but for the first game in the Shippuden series, it was a good start, and they heavily improved on it in the later titles, so giving the base combat a 6 out of 10. Next is the quick time events present in certain fights. Now I know quick time events have a rather discerning stigma around them, but I think they were well done in the Storm series. They made some of the fights feel more interactive than just watching a cutscene. My two best examples is Naruto vs Pain and Naruto vs Sasuke. In these two instances, the fights intertwined with the quick time events made the scene feel more dramatic and intense. Naruto weaving Sasuke's attempts at hitting him, and the same exact thing in the Pain fight. This is one of those moments where the music that's incorporated in the fight further magnifies that tension and focus you get when playing it. You might not think it at first, but when you realize it, you start to see it makes the fight feel smoother. The only downside is, in my opinion, is that it takes away from the visuals of the fight, because sometimes all you see is a massive spam B icon. Therefore, I'm going to give the quick time event combat a 8 out of 10, giving the overall combat of Storm 2 a 7 out of 10. As the base for the rest of the Storm games that come after it, it was a decent start and they only went up from there. For a game that's about 10 years old, the combat is good enough for you to have fun while playing it. Now let's move on to the story of Storm 2. This, in my opinion, is the strongest part of the game. The cutscenes and storytelling really made the game shine 10 years ago. Now, some aspects are taken straight from the anime at the time, and others were completely done from the ground up. For instance, the bell test at the start of the game.
Ah, there you are.
Yes, sorry to keep you waiting.
Are you both ready?
Absolutely!
Well, same rules as 3 years ago. Just take these bells from me. Of course, if you don't actively try to come after me, you'll never get the bells.
We know already! Skip the introduction, let's hurry up and start!
All right. Shall we begin?
Yeah!
Yes!
It looks like I'll have to work a bit harder.
All right, bring it.
Now, those of you that have seen the anime know that this fight is way better in Storm 2. The fight gets the player used to the overhaul combat system compared to Storm 1, and it's also a good start to the game, and the music is fantastic as always. This is also the first time we get to see the quick time events in action, making this a good boss fight to begin with.
It's huge! Here goes! Secret finger jutsu! All right!
That was too close.
After Naruto and Sakura successfully take the bells from Kakashi, the game suddenly takes a curve. Naruto wonders about his old enemy turned friend, Gaara, asking Haruka Sensei about how he's doing.
Oh,
What's wrong?
that's right. I keep forgetting to ask you. I know Sakura and the others are tuning, but what about him? What about Gaara?
Oh yeah, him.
Wait, don't tell me he made Jonin instead of tuning.
No, he's a bit special.
Special?
We find out that Gaara has become the Kazekage of the Hidden Sand and is soon attacked by Deidara, a member of the Akatsuki. And at this point, we don't know much about the Akatsuki, and seeing that one of their members was able to take down the strongest person in the Hidden Sand was crazy at the time.
But this is it. For you and the whole village. This guy's had a defensive wall!
Naruto finds out about the kidnapping of Gaara and becomes determined to get him back. As Naruto himself is a Jinchuriki like Gaara, he also understands his pain. With the help of Granny Chiyo and Sakura, they manage to take back Gaara, but by then, it's too late.
Why Gaara? Why is it always him? If he dies like this... He's Kazekage! Just become Kazekage!
Calm down, Naruto Uzumaki.
If you Sand Ninja hadn't put that monster in Gaara, none of this would have happened! Did you ever consider what Gaara thought? Did you ever even ask? Call him a Jinchuriki? Who are you to decide that fate for someone else? I couldn't save Sasuke. I can't save Gaara. I trained like crazy for 3 years, but nothing has changed.
But with the honorable self-sacrifice of Granny Chiyo, she brings back Gaara with her reanimation jutsu. Insisting that Naruto and Gaara create a new future between the two villages, they both shake hands, and the new start between the Hidden Sand and Leaf goes on. Moving on forward, Team 7 gets permission to go to Orochimaru's hideout in search for Sasuke. This being the first encounter of Sasuke we've seen the entire game, and with the 3-year difference between Storm 1 and Storm 2.
Naruto. And Sakura too.
That voice.
Finally, we found you! Sasuke!
The music creates this added tension, and hearing the two different sides of Naruto's passion to bring Sasuke back and Sasuke's despair to cut all ties with Naruto makes this part of the story emotional as Naruto and Ko get ready to fight with Sasuke.
I severed my bonds with you on that day 3 years ago.
Severed your bonds? Quit talking crazy!
Naruto.
Yeah, that's the way he's gonna be. We'll just have to take him by force!
As Naruto delivers the most nasty right-hand attack I've ever seen, as Sasuke gets ready to have a signature Chidori and Rasengan clash with Naruto, these two try to settle their differences but end up failing, as Naruto can't bring back Sasuke, and Sasuke goes on to form a team to take down his brother Itachi. Sasuke meets his older brother at the abandoned hideout of their clan. Sasuke for years has waited for this moment to confront Itachi, and at this point in the story, we have seen the struggle Sasuke has confided within himself.
You're better at shuriken jutsu. Even I can tell that. Why do you always treat me like such a pest?
Sasuke.
Finally.
After becoming very power hungry and driven towards darkness, he finally gets a chance to kill his brother once and for all.
Thing that even my eyes see just fine.
And what do they see?
What I'm seeing right now. Itachi is you, dead at my feet.
Me dead at your feet, eh? Let's get to it.
Sasuke and Itachi go toe-to-toe with Sasuke having the intention to finish his brother here. As they clash together with their fireball jutsu, Sasuke uses his hidden technique Kirin, but Itachi is saved by his Susanoo. Sasuke gets desperate and Itachi closes in on him, and slowly, as they are both out of chakra, he whispers in Sasuke's ear and falls to the ground in a climactic finish between the two brothers.
Now this world shall know pain.
We now arrive at the finale of Storm 2. Pain has desecrated the Hidden Leaf to pieces, and all of its residents are either dead or near death, and all seems lost. Sakura cries out as she yells for Naruto to come back, as he's been away for a long time training in Sage
Can't
Jutsu.
be happening. What? Naruto, hurry! Please! Naruto!
Naruto and Pain decide to have a little exchange of words before they get ready to fight each other in the final battle.
So, you're Pain.
We'll take you by force then.
I'm gonna settle this!
Bring it.
This being the last fight of the game, it does an extremely good job of building up its tension for a spectacular finish. As I stated before, with the quick time events adding extra initiative to each part of the animation makes for a really good finale. Hinata sacrifices herself to save Naruto and thus making him turn into the nine-tailed skeleton. After he gets his bearings and has one more one-on-one with Pain, as he carries the whole village on his shoulders and defeats Pain in the end.
Did I use too much? It's too late for that jutsu. You haven't a ghost of a chance now. Give up!
You give up!
What?
Give up trying to make me give up!
This making a finish to my condensed story of Storm 2. The whole journey from beginning to end was really well put together. For that, I'm going to give the story a 9 out of 10. I think it was the best story out of all the Storm games as a whole from the beginning to the Pain arc. Overall, I give this game a 9 out of 10 and it was a lot better than I remember it 10 years ago. After playing Storm 4 for so long, it was nice to come back to where it all started, disregarding Storm 1 of course. So that concludes the video and I think you should all go play Storm 2, whether you bought it long ago or you never even heard of it. Let me know any other games you'd like me to go back on and hopefully I'll see you around.